The screen is visible to all.
Yeah, I'm getting.
Sure. Thank you for confirming. So yeah, we will be walking you through a very normal slide where we have explained what is APG, okay, and then we will go to a demo session, okay, where we will try to create a sample API proxy, okay. So and we will see how it works, okay, and later on. In the sessions we will go through each and every component in detail, okay, how Apg works and how we do debugging, how we add policies, and how we add the security analytics. Everything will go in depth, okay, based on the course curriculum, okay, what we have got from the training, okay. So to begin with, what Apg is, so we are going to have the Apg training. So what here what the today's agenda is to know what Apg is and why we are using Apg, okay. And there are few more API management tools, okay, which are available in the market and which are used by corporate. But yeah, Apg holds a dominant position among all of them, okay. So why are we using Apg? So we'll get into that as well. Few more details. Features of Apg. Okay, there are a lot of components. Okay, in Apg which is available, and that is also and some of them are out of box. Okay, so that and it helps in a way to develop very helpful APIs. Okay, which can be integrated with any of the application, mobile or web application. So who uses Apg? So yeah, so we'll get into that topic as well. Who attends the Apg training? So there is some basic uh, prerequisites might be added there. So what the APG, what as a Apg developer we do? So what we will see that also, and what will be our roles and responsibility, salary, and course content. I think this slide also might be shared with you beforehand. Okay, so we'll get into this one by one. Okay. So what APG is? So APG, if you say in a single term, okay, it's a API management, API lifecycle management tool. Okay, so here you can manage, you can develop and manage whole API lifecycle. Okay, and it's a Google product now. Earlier it was not a Google product. It was actually acquired by Google. Okay, earlier it was held by some other company. Basically, I'm not remembering the name. Okay, so later on, it was acquired by Google, and now everything is
Can
managed.
you maximize the slide? We are not getting the
Sure.
words clearly.
Fine.
Yeah, now.
Shall I slideshow? Start. If not, I'll start the slideshow.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I think it should be fine now.
Yes, fine.
Yeah. So as it is mentioned, and I simplified the term. Okay, so APG is the whole and soul API gateway management tool. Okay, so here you can manage all the whole API lifecycle from creation to the consumption and monitoring as well. Okay, so APG earlier it was not developed by APG, it was developed by some other company, and it was later on acquired. And then from then we are seeing a lot of enhancement. And when you get into get yourself as an APG developer, you have to keep yourself updated with the updates. Actually, what is coming in that APG. So now and then we see a lot of updates coming in the APG. Okay, enhancements. So we should be updated with that since it is acquired by Google. So they keep on enhancing things. Okay. Now, why APG? APG, yes, there are a lot of tools available for the same purpose, API management. Okay, but APG holds a very dominant position in that. Okay, because of its feature. Okay, easy to use, and also there are a lot of features like analytics. Okay, it has got analytic feature which gives out of box feature. Okay, and also APG has given different flavors of itself. Okay, there are on premises, okay, that is private cloud, and then there is a mix between the cloud and the on premises. Okay, so there are a lot of flavors that is called hybrid. Okay, so because of that, it is very user friendly, customer friendly. Okay, so client wanted to be in their premises, it has on premises. Okay, if you want to get a mix of it, you can do it. Based on different scenarios, they are having they support actually different sort of things. Okay, so because of that, it is in a dominating position. Okay, yeah. So higher salary to offer to APG certified professionals. Yes. For APG certification, we can discuss later on what all things required for APG certification. It's just not APG knowledge required needed for APG certification, but we need much more things in terms of getting the APG certified developer. Now, features of APG. So here there are a lot of things mentioned. Okay, so something mentioned as a multi-cloud and hybrid cloud. Okay, so same thing I mentioned in the previous slides as well. Okay, so APG also has given opportunity where we can migrate our existing or legacy data stores. Okay, exactly, a data store you can call it as your services also. So existing it developed no matter you have developed your service based on any technology, okay, but you can expose it, okay, and via APG. Okay, so that is very handy tool. Okay, it doesn't, and the front end doesn't have to bother about what technology and what how your backend is going to be invoked. If you're exposing it via APG, that is REST API, it's very straightforward for web and mobile application users. Okay, it's very straight and it's very easy to use. Okay. So there are a lot of points here. Build and scale your API. So it's in cloud. So yes, you can scale your API usage. Okay. So and monitoring tools you have that I told, it's out of box security analytic feature which is already provided by APG. So you can integrate and it's all inbuilt. You can just have to enable and the things will be in your hand now. And if you want to move your data from APG to some other server, even that also is possible. We will see all of it one by one in the upcoming slides, okay, and upcoming sessions. Okay. Security and optimization. See, most of the since we are seeing ourselves as an API gateway when we are developing APIs in APG, okay, it says like you are a facade layer above your backend service. Okay, so when it comes to facade layer, you are just exposing the backend service. You are not holding the major business logic. Exactly. So in that case, the security is the priormost thing, okay, which you are going to handle or tackle in your API gateway layer, right? So for security, yes, APG has provided a lot of security features, okay, and this is a key tool and a key thing here, and also it supports all the authentication, auth 2.0, auth 1.0, everything. Okay, so as per your need, basic authentication. So you all must be knowing about authentication if you have developed some of the applications. Okay, so it supports all of it. Okay, and you can use as and when the implementation stays and the scenario, which scenario are going to expose your APIs. Okay, so we will see these things also, and APG has given a very handy documentation which I'll be sharing and which you can go through about all these topics in general as well as how we do in the APG itself. Okay, so so yes, it's not wrong to say that the major giant, the IT sector, also using APG. So yes, if you're having good knowledge of APG, you're not going to be short of any job opportunity. Okay, who can attend? Okay, so any developer, middleware technology developer, and middleware architect, and also the solution architect. Okay, you want to know this APG, where it can fit and how things can be, how the backend services can be exposed, okay, via API gateway. So anybody can attend, and let me tell you, the coding wise, it has very less coding. Okay, so you need not to worry what I should be knowing. It should be knowing Java, Python, or something. It has got a very less coding, but yes, if you want to do customization in your API, okay, there are scenarios where you will have to do customization. There you have to use your own language, and Java and APG has provided the support in Java, Python, and JavaScript. So majorly we use JavaScript, okay, but you can use Java and Python as so. No matter which language you know, you can, if you're well versed with the Apigee, okay, so you will be able to develop the APIs, okay. So if you don't know, also it's fine, okay. And yes, since you're creating REST APIs, you should be knowing the REST API guidelines, okay. So that is a basic requirement, okay. And the knowledge of SOAP and REST based services. Yes, if you come across these services, slowly you will start grabbing it. If you don't have knowledge, you'll slowly start grabbing how to invoke those services. And Apigee has provided separately the feature of invoking or creating a proxy for SOAP services and REST services separately. So it's going to be very easy for you to generate or create a proxy, okay, for either of these services. Okay. So professional, yeah, majorly we have three roles in the Apigee. Okay, you can serve as Apigee developer, and it includes testing as well. Okay, you can have the Apigee consultant role, and then support. Support comes with managing the API platform. Okay, so there are things in the Apigee layer, okay, which has to be handled by the team, like giving access, monitoring, okay, and debugging. So the initial debugging, okay, and doing configuration changes like certificate installation. Those things comes under support team. Okay, so you can support that also. So there are three roles majorly we have in the Apigee. So what will be our roles and responsibility? Okay, so majorly the thing will be to design the API. Okay, the designing API, it differs from organization to organization where they find it comfortable for designing and exposing their API. Mostly now we are not making a front end pages for the API designs. Okay, mostly we are trying to uh, come up with the YAML file or Open API specification, which we also call in common Swagger. Okay, and Apigee has provided one more feature where you can directly use the Swagger and get the API ready for yourself. Okay, there won't be any mediation sort of things there, but yes, you can add later on. But first go, it will create the proxy as per your Open API specification in the Apigee. Okay. So the role will be to design, develop, okay, and manage your API in the Apigee, okay. And yeah, you can automate things. We'll see that also. And salary wise, yes, in the today's market, Apigee developers are having good package, okay. But yes, the important thing to note here is as an Apigee developer, you have to be very good in the debugging skill. Okay, here they're not asking much to code, okay, from you, but yes, you should be having very good debugging skill here. Okay, and solution wise, yes, you should be having good knowledge of systems. Okay, how you're going to integrate your systems between different components. Okay, so how different system will be integrated, and how you are going to, if you get issues, how you're going to debug. So those things you have to be very careful. Okay, because being an API gateway, you are going to be the first person who is going to caught, okay, in case of any issue. Okay, so we have to be very clear with what we are doing and what is in our scope. Okay, so that has to be very clear. So debugging skill, one skill which I feel like, yes, it's needed, very much needed in terms of starting the Apigee and being a good Apigee developer. Yeah, in USA we have some dollars. Okay. Now there is course content which I think this already might be shared with you all. Okay, so introduction to API management, Apigee overview of Apigee and mediation policies. So the module 2 is going to be the most important session here. Okay, so to begin with, actually everything is being given in a form of policies in Apigee, which we will see now. Okay, maybe in the coming session we'll see everything is like predefined policies is given as, you can consider predefined these policies as predefined functions. Okay, so as in when you need a feature to be added, or the like security is a feature which you want to add in your API, you can just add the security policy in your API, and yeah, you can change the values or change the configuration values in the policy, and yes, it will be customized and it will work for you. Similarly, for sending second scenario could be like sending your logs to remote server. Okay. For that also, Apigee has given a policy. You want to extract the values from your, for that also Apigee has given the policy. So everything mostly it's given in the form of policies, which are nothing but predefined part of like you can consider it as predefined functions. So you just need to drag and drop. It will be added in your proxy, and you have to modify. Of course, you have to modify the values as per your requirement. Okay. API traffic management. Okay. So there we will come to uh, the security thing and the traffic management. Okay, there are traffic management policies as well. Okay, which you can call it as uh, something you might be knowing about spike arrest and the rate limiting policies, right, to safeguard your application as well as the backend application. So we have those policies as well. Okay, so in and around we have around 46-45 policies in Apigee for different purposes. Okay. Apigee extensions, yeah, it's a very new feature provided by Apigee, okay, where you can uh, call the other external services. Okay, here you can have any GCP services you can integrate with the Apigee using extension option of Apigee. Okay, so this is also a new feature. Earlier, initially it was not, but now it's been added, and it has been improved a lot. Okay, so earlier we had to do so much of coding, but extension is very handy tool when it comes to including different or some other external services in your Apigee application. Okay. Then you have fault handling. That's a very important part of Apigee, and we will see in depth how fault is handled in the Apigee, because as I mentioned, debugging skill is the most important skill needed for the Apigee. Okay, fault handling is one of things. So here we will see how the flow runs from the starting till the end, and how the from up getting the response from the downstream, how we send the response to the client. Okay, those things we will be seeing, and how the, if any, in case of any fault, how we are going to handle it. Okay, so those things we will be seeing in the fault handling, and how error is populated, how there will be some error will be system generated, as you know, and some errors will be generated by you itself because of business requirement. Okay, sorry for the background noise, I believe. See, I think it's very disturbing from the background noise. But okay, so the other error could be like the policy itself has failed due to some issue. Okay, so that is also comes under fault handling. So those all things we will be dealing in the fault handling session, and this is also one of the most important session. Okay, publishing API docs and developer portal, and yes, this is also a very important feature which sets API ahead of or above all the tools available in the market. So here there is an inbuilt feature provided by Apigee where you can expose uh, your API, okay, in a developer portal. So it helps in the customer interaction, and someone who want to consume your API can come to your developer portal, and there is option of having developer portal inbuilt within the Apigee, and other thing you can use. You can come up with your own developer portal in your technology. Just that you have to be careful of integrating how you can integrate your developer portal, okay, with Apigee, because you have to give a tryout feature in that, where, because here two things. Okay, you have to showcase the functionality of your APIs, and also you have to enable users to try out some of the requests in the portal. Okay, so that they can get to know whether this API is going to be helpful for them or not, and accordingly they can buy that API from you. Okay, so for that case, Apigee has given developer portal, which is very handy, and it's very easy to implement when it comes to integrated developer portal. But yes, if you are a good website developer, you can come up with your own developer portal. Usually it supports Drupal. Okay, so you can come up with the Drupal 7 or Drupal 8 or Drupal 9, I think latest one. You can develop your APIs in either of them. Okay, so Apigee, yeah, they have the support for these Drupal based developer portal. For any other developer portal, they might not support to that extent. Yeah. So API proxy packaging and deployment process. Okay, so how we are going to deploy and package it because when you give the API to the consumer, okay, you have to package that those APIs because based on their. Can you confirm if this background noise is creating a lot of issues?
So Himang, all are like in mute. So something coming from your side.
Yeah. No. It's coming from my side only. Is it creating a lot of issues? I should be getting because it's outside actually.
Yeah, means it's okay. It's not that much creating disturbance.
Thanks for confirming. Yeah. So Apigee proxy packaging and deployment. Okay, this is important because here we will be seeing that how we are going to package our APIs. Okay, because directly we cannot give the APIs directly to the consumer. Okay, that has to be packaged in a form of product. Okay, that product will be shared. Okay, with the client. There, when we share the product with the client, and those will be based on the package what they have selected, because if they want to select the billing account APIs, we will be packaging the billing account product. Okay, we will be creating a product for which includes the billing account APIs. Okay, if we have something called APIs which caters the need for shopping cart, okay, you have to add the APIs in this product, okay, used for the shopping cart app feature in an application. Okay, so those things we'll be seeing in the API proxy packaging and then deployment. How we do the deployment? Ideally, it should be interchanged. The deployment comes first, and then packaging comes second. Okay. Yes. So this is I had in the slide, and moving to the other slide. Any questions in this particular slide?
So I have one question, Himang. So how this Apigee is different than the other products, right? Like Azure API management or IBM APIC or Amazon API gateway, right? So there are a couple of like APIC tools in market, but how it is leading, like what feature of this Apigee is making different than other tools?
Okay. So the most important thing, as per my experience, which I have observed, okay, is the flexibility we have in Apigee. Okay, the flexibility in terms of having into the different, getting into the different requirement, and we have those features or not. We can get those features by getting in touch with the support team. Okay, they come up with upgradations and they get those features. Okay, like we had one need of having a private cloud, okay, that is on premises deployment and installation of Apigee for different client, because they have this security and they're going to use that application internally. So they have come up with the on premises. Okay, and that's very useful feature, and there we handle all the components of Apigee. Okay, by ourselves only as per the requirement. They give the support, and also the community, it has got a very enriched community. Okay, community support where you can post your queries and things, and you can get sorted out. And also with the time, the Apigee has been used widely by the developers. Okay, So in and out, things are already like being explored. Okay, so it's going. You will not find somewhere in a dark shade where you're not finding any solution for it. Most of the things are available. Okay, so when you start off, it's going to be very easy for you to develop and debug things. Okay, and the support provided by Apigee is also very good. Okay, and if you want anything, you can raise ticket and you can get the support from Apigee team. So those are like kind of from your user perspective and from client perspective, it's going to be give you very handful of stuffs which will be easy for you to develop the thing. And yes, if you go at very low level, you have analytic, you have developer portal, you have many security features because it's a Google product. So mostly the analytic and security things are like, it's to its extent, it's very good and out of box. You have Mule, you have WSO2, that is also being used. But yes, when it comes to Apigee, it's more handy. Does it answer your question?
Yes.
If no questions, we can switch to. I have a very small slide. Just wanted to cover this. Okay. Any questions, please?
Hi, Aman.
Yeah.
This, do you need any programming knowledge for this session, like Apigee?
Sorry, can you come back?
See, do you need? We need any programming knowledge like Java, Python? You already said right. So
basically, if you have knowledge of Java, Python, JavaScript, it's good. Okay, but majorly we use JavaScript. Okay, so any basic knowledge of JavaScript is also fine. Okay, because we need this language when we have to customize our APIs. Okay, we have to write custom code. We write custom code for input validation, for throwing some errors. Okay, customizing the response, mediating the response. So those things we use JavaScript. So basically, I would not specifically say that we need it. Okay, but yes, basic knowledge of any of these three or all of these three is good. Okay, Java and Python is not much needed. Only JavaScript is needed here for now, actually, to begin to start off.
okay,
so
thank you.
if you have time, you go through JavaScript. Okay, how we write code in the JavaScript, it's very plain function. Even if you go through this session also, you'll have enough knowledge to write the code in JavaScript. That's not a big deal. Okay, it'll get you all this information. And yeah, anything else, please?
You are going to cover the Apigee components like router or message processor, Cassandra, and you are going to cover or only we are doing for only development part?
Yeah, the course curriculum look like we have to cover the development portion. Okay, if you want to cover the Apigee architecture, okay, we can go through it. Okay, but on-premises installation, configuration, those things, because in on-premises we have this Cassandra message processors, and it is up to us how we are going to add those things and how the configuration has to be, how many message processors we need. Those are like are not part of this curriculum. But yes, if you want to go through the Apigee architecture, yes, definitely I can cover that in a small slide session. How the call flows these components of.
Okay, thank you.
You can cover.
And one more thing, you are saying like triple portal, right? The
Yes.
triple portal also are going to cover, right?
No, actually, Drupal portal can be it is good in hands of Drupal developers. Actually, I am not Drupal developer, but yes, I told you have this option of developing your APIs using Drupal. Okay, so you will have customized portal actually, but when you use the integrated developer portal, there you don't have much options actually to make modifications. Okay, yes, you can. There are a few portals developed by uh, clients, okay, consumers. There they have modified the DOM of the inbuilt developer, this inbuilt APG developer portal, and it looks fantastic. And but yes, there are some restriction in terms of some of the pages available in the APG developer portal. But if you want to go beyond, to use Drupal as one of the solution for that kind of customized developer portal. So for that, you should have developer Drupal knowledge in that case.
One more thing, the thing is you already said like the Swagger is going to execute some APIs you are saying, right? Swagger also we have to develop, or it will doing like a website, we are doing some code modification we are doing, right? Same way we are doing in Swagger also, or it will cover in the part?
Swagger, we'll not cover Swagger, okay. But yes, Swagger, it when it comes to real-time implementation, it is from like organization to organization, okay. Some in some organization, APG developer does does create the open API specification, but sometimes they get open API specification from the client itself, and they implement the API, okay. So, but yes, if you want to have the knowledge of creating Swagger or Open API specification, we can have that session, but it's not the part of APG here. Anything else?
No, clear.
So, this is basic introduction. Okay. So we have been talking about API lifecycle. So what is that? So it majorly includes four things. Okay, API publishing, consumption, governance, and analytics. Okay, as I told, API publishing, creating APIs and getting it deployed. Okay, that is comes into those things come under API publishing. Okay, so APG as APG developer, you will be developing the APIs and deploying it into APG and getting it published. Okay, getting it published. There will be like publishing there you can have different instances in real time world. You have in different organization, you have something called staging, you have something called test environment, you have prod. So those things you can get in the APG itself. Okay, so based on different stages of integration testing, you can integrate different instances of APG. Okay. Now, APG publishing, you have to do as a APG developer. Then the consumption. So consumption you have to, when your API is published in the APG, you can look into for consumption. So same thing, you can deploy the API when you have got your API deployed in APG. Okay, you can consume it there. Okay, governance you have to have the knowledge of installation of certificate, giving access to permissions to the consumers. Okay, handling the access issues, creating product. Okay, which I mentioned earlier. Adding those API proxies to the product based on the package which the client has selected. Okay, those things you can put into that, and then analytic component, which is like monitoring how your API is behaving and how what is traffic coming and what is the error rate. I'll walk you through the analytic component as well. Okay, where what all things are being captured in the analytic, we will see that as well. Then yeah, real-time scenario without APG. Okay, so here we have different consumer like client app, mobile, point of sale, partner, and web. Okay, and there you have backend services which are developed using different technologies. So when it comes to the consumer, it's very hard. Okay, because the backend services are being written in different languages and using different technology. And when it comes to consumption, there might be different ways of consuming each and every backend service. So it's going to be hard for the client or the app development team to consume those backend services or different backend services. Okay, so this is something which is going to be a very difficult task here. But when you expose your backend services using Apigee or any API gateway management tool, Apigee here, okay, so the client or the consumer need not to worry about what is going to happen or what technology and what language has been used for writing the backend services. Okay, this is how it look like when we get Apigee in between that in between the consumer and the backend service. So here you can monitor the traffic, handle the access control, monetization. Okay, based on the package. Okay, you can monetize the consumption of different services. Okay, so there are a lot of handy tools. Okay, and you can analyze. Okay, and any change like any change at backend layer. Okay, any new deployment or creating new virtual host, anything, the consumer need not to worry about it. Everything will be handled at Apigee layer. Okay. So there are different flavor, as I mentioned, in the Apigee. There's a public cloud, Apigee hybrid, and the private cloud. Okay, so Apigee cloud, this public cloud is the widely used one. Okay, and if you create a trial account in Apigee, it's going to give you account in the public cloud. Okay, then we have private cloud. Okay, and a mix of it we have in the Apigee hybrid. So private cloud, that is on-premises installation of all the component of the Apigee. Okay, as one of our candidates mentioned, Cassandra. So most of the people don't know who are new to Apigee that what is Cassandra, message processor, routers, and other components, right? So those things, Zookeeper, there are a lot of components. So those things are this configuration is being done when it comes to Apigee. We ourselves has to do this configuration, and we have to decide what is going to be the value and what is going to be the limit of these components. Okay, so these things should be handled by us. Okay, while installation. Okay, and sometimes we make use of this private and on-premise, this cloud and the private cloud both. Okay, some of the things we will be maintaining in the private cloud, and some things we will be putting in the open internet. Okay, so those things will come under Apigee hybrid. Okay, there is another thing like edge micro gateway in Apigee, which is not covered here, and that's a separate topic to discuss. Okay, there is also one of the things which is worth going through, but real time implementation will being used very less. Okay, so that yeah. So this is Apigee Edge URL. Okay, and there is a mock target API here, mock target here, which we can use for developing a simple proxy.
Yeah, Himant, can you just go to the previous slide 1 second? Yeah, in Apigee hybrid, it's given that manage API on the Google Cloud Platform, right? GCP. So do we have to know the basics of GCP or anything?
No, actually. See, if you have the knowledge of GCP, well and good. If not, Apigee is also hosted in Google Cloud only. Okay, so it's like if you have the knowledge of Apigee and you are a Apigee developer, you are not asked to have much knowledge of GCP. That should be fine.
Okay, fine.
But there are many GCP applications. Okay, which you can integrate with Apigee. Okay, using extension what I mentioned in the previous slide.
Yeah, got it.
So you can relate now as and when we proceed to upcoming sessions. Okay, you will be able to relate all of those words what I mentioned. Okay, when we do the implementation.
Yeah, got it.
And also you can I'll put this one. I'll share this slide. Okay, I'll share this slide. Okay, And what you can do is you can create a trial account for yourself, and you can start like as we proceed in the session, we will start going through the implementation task. So at least you can create a trial account for now, okay, so that it will be easy for us to do the implementation going forward. And yeah, anything is there, you can drop to the Anusha or Nilim, I believe.
Yeah. So, Himang, what is the timeline for this course?
So timeline,
And
yeah. So as and when the few things one of us mentioned, right? Adding the APG architecture. Okay. So those things, like if we keep if we add those few more slides, okay, or a few more sessions in that, so it might exceed. But specifically saying, then it's around 30 hours of course, okay. But exactly we cannot stick to 30 hours, okay. We are just trying to make you all well versed with the APG, where we can you know all the components of APG. So not fixed, yeah.